Hi, today we are going to talk a little bit about the Day of the Dead, a celebration that occurs every November in Mexico. This day started because it comes from indigenous cultures. The indigenous cultures that exist before even Spanish people arrived to Mexico used to celebrate the spirits because they believed that spirits were among us, not only during the Day of the Dead. They used to be among us during important times of our life, during celebrations like, for example, marriages or when a child born, or special occasions for the community like the harvesting or the planting season, or when people hunt, or when there was a war, or those special occasions that the community needed the support. They believed that the spirit was there among them. But when Spanish people arrived to Mexico, they established a Catholic church as a main religious church in Mexico, and then started to be some changes. And one of them was that the Catholicism tried to teach indigenous people their own beliefs, and they tried to make disappear some of their cultural beliefs. So as part of this process, they started to promote that the indigenous people celebrate on November 1st and November 2nd the spirits of the dead people. Instead of proposing indigenous celebration, they proposed that they could celebrate All the Souls Days and the date of All the Saints during those days. And in that way, started a process to mix cultures. Actually, people in Mexico, indigenous and not indigenous, we celebrate this day, and we celebrate it all around the world because it's a very important day for us. Not all Mexicans celebrate in the same way. In fact, the Day of the Dead has traditions from more than 60 different indigenous cultures. So the way of celebration is very different. For example, some indigenous cultures, like the Chontales that live in the south of Mexico in Tabasco, they celebrate for one whole month. While other cultures in different areas of the south too, they celebrate from October 25th to November 2nd. There are lots of difference between the cultures and the way as we celebrate. But basically, mostly all Mexicans celebrate during the November 1st and November 2nd. How we celebrate? Usually we place an altar that it is called ofrenda, like the one that we set this year here at West Central. The altar could be set in a house or could be set on the graves in the cemeteries. According to our traditions, during this time, our beloved ones come with us to celebrate, and they eat and enjoy the food and the things that we let for them in the altars. So that's why there are different kind of things that we used to put in the altar. Usually we put some fruits, some water in case that the spirit is thirsty. For the case of the children, we place some toys, some special candies if they like it. And for adults, for example, we can place tequila, cigarettes. So the offering could be very different depending the family and the people that we are celebrating. But during these days, another things that we used to do is to offer prayers too. In the case of people that it is more religious, there are more prayings, and we usually spend time with family. We share lots of memories about our beloved ones, And we sing sometimes. There is people that bring guitars to the cemeteries, for example, or they bring a mariachi for to celebrate together all the family over the graves. We sing, we cry, but we laugh lots because it is not a day to suffer, it is a day to celebrate because people that we love is here again with us. And well, some of the things that usually we set in the altar are things that represents the different elements, like for example the air, the fire, the water, and the wind. So usually we organize these objects in different levels. So in the case of the altar that we set here at West Central, we place 3 different levels that represents the 3 different levels that the spirit has to follow to reach heaven. So it represents earth, heaven, and the purgatory. But in the case of other altars, they could just set 2 levels that represent the earth and the heaven, or in more elaborated altars, it could be up to 7 levels that represents different steps that the soul needs to follow to reach heaven. In the case of this altar, we set, for example, some skulls, some bread that represents the body of the people that pass away and is among us during these days. We set to some water and salt that purifies the soul. We place some candles because the candles guide the spirits to us, as well as some flowers like the marigolds that with the odor the spirits could find the places where they want to go. And we place sometimes to some purple flowers because according to Catholic tradition represents mourning. And another elements that are very important in the altar are, of course, the portraits where we offer, to special people our altar. So we place their pictures. The incense that it is similar like the tobacco here with indigenous communities, that for us the incense serves to clean our spirit and to guide spirits to us. And we place, of course, some perforated paper. This element represents the connection with the spirits and the wind. So that's why it's something that usually floats in the air. Well, in general, this is some of the information that I want to share with you about our traditional altar. If you have some other questions, you can always text me here at West Central, and I will be happy to answer your questions.